Hello, my lovers. Today I want to talk about love, and I don't know if this is a gay and ladies only video, but it's really intended for anybody who wants to listen and talk about being in love, because it's the best, so let's talk about it. So I just got done taking a lunch walk with my boyfriend, and we had such interesting conversation. And we've been together for over 3 years now, so a lot of our time together, because it is plentiful, is spent being just completely real with each other, and that includes the bad and the ugly. And we fight, and we really know how to push each other's buttons, and you know how much you learn a person and their quirks and what really sets them off if you've been together with them for a long time. Even like best friends and family members, like you spend so much time around each other, you really get to know each other. And when we were walking today, it really went through a roller coaster of emotions, like super loving, and then we argued, and then we got over it and laughed, and it was really good. And I love our relationship so much because I take for granted sometimes all the work we have to put in to make it work, and you forget the other person endures you so much. Like, I don't know if I'd date me. I'm fucking too much. I'm crazy. I have cuckoo ideas. I talk about everything. Nothing's private. And my boyfriend is so embarrassed of some of the things I'll talk about, But that happens because that's real. And he is okay with it, and he's accepted more and more of it. And it's really fun to watch somebody who's completely opposite of me, but also so similar, be like learning how to deal with somebody like me. And he's completely opposite in the sense, like, he's more into feelings, and I'm just oblivious of those sometimes, as men tend to be more than feminine person in the relationship, whether guy or girl. But it's funny, like, looking at our relationship. But it got me thinking about just talking about the kinds of love, because there are so many, and they're so confusing, and they're different stages. And sometimes they happen dependent on age, and sometimes they happen dependent on situation and timing. It's so funny, but I was thinking about it. When I was 20, I started dating my first boyfriend ever, and I remember we went into a convenience store together, and we were still pretty timid. We had just moved to a bigger city than we were both used to, and we were getting used to being out. And the store clerk, who was somebody that I would never have thought to be accepting. He was like 6'3", black, brooding. It was like a Third Avenue market that you see on the corner we lived in a stupid, sketchy neighborhood that was mostly homeless, sleeping in a park, and drug addicts and stuff. Totally a recommendable neighborhood, though, because a lot of gays moved in there, and it was fun after bar. Anyway, sidetrack. But he approached us, and he was like, "Young love, like, it's so good to see young love, no matter its form, right?" And that will stick with me forever. He was one of the first people to acknowledge us as a couple, and we were young, and we were so in love, and it's just that young love where you're experiencing everything for the first time, and you go through the trials and tribulations. With my first boyfriend, we came out to our families together, so just going through that, I hate that we ended up hurting each other and breaking up so much, and it became so repetitive that he decided to just cut me out. Like, we haven't spoken in a decade, which is sick to think about, but that is nuts. Wow. But it's crazy because I still love and respect him. He went through so much with me. He taught me so much. He taught me how to love myself for being a gay guy. Like, just such a good person, and a great, like, so talented. He's so talented. Anyway, but then I also had an infatuation love, where it was my next boyfriend, and he was an older man. He was older than me by 15 years. He was a cop, very dominant, like, took care of everything. He had the things I aspired for, like, he owned his house, he had 2 cars, a motorcycle, a boat he'd rented, like, just a really cool lifestyle. A little bit of luxury, no bills that were really tying him down. He would take vacations 3 times a year. It was like nuts, his lifestyle. But he treated me like shit. I mean, he was closeted, so I couldn't meet his family. I couldn't meet many of his friends or coworkers. It was insane. Like, I tortured myself for 2 years while I dated this guy, and he would break up with me. I was 22 when I dated this guy. He would break up with me for like 18 or 19-year-olds. And I was like, I'm 22. Like, you need younger? He's a perv. Anyway, still love him, but just such a different kind because I became someone else when I was with him. And I'm so glad I can see that. And looking back, if I met me back then now, I wouldn't know who I was. I'd be like, oh, child, like simmer down. You're crazy. But that's a stage you get into in love. I mean, our brains are just hardwired to be addicted to this experience of chasing love. And I think oftentimes we get stuck mixing up like lust and infatuation with love, because love should be about mutual respect and willing to listen and have conversations. And it's the kind of relationship where honestly you spend every night together sleeping in the same bed, even when you want to smother each other with a fucking pillow, right? Am I right? Because when you deal with that, when you get to that deep, true love, then you know you found a soulmate. Like, it's somebody willing to go through the dirty with you. You know, whether it's something scandalous to the public or just scandalous between the two of you, really, it's whatever tests you and puts you into a place where it shakes your core and your trust for each other, and you have to talk and you have to get to know each other again on a deeper level. And I really respect those relationships, the people willing to go through the dirty with each other, honestly, no matter what it looks like. Lesbian, gay, trans, black, white, Chinese, Puerto Rican, anything, put it together. I think it's fabulous. You know, a lot of people want to condemn relationships via age. I had the relationship where he was 15 years older. It was one of the best experiences of my life, even though it was torture for 2 years. But I learned so much about me. And I learned after that what I was willing to not put up with. And I think that's so important, because when you're in your 20s, you date the scale, okay? You're gonna date the alcoholic, you're gonna date the drug user, you're gonna date the socialite, you're gonna date the jock, you're gonna date the meathead, the gym bunny. Like, this is gay, straight, whatever, any age. I mean, the pool of dating is so similar in every city. It's funny, but you're gonna go through different relationships. And I do have a couple friends who actually just take themselves out of the dating world because they don't even want to deal. And I understand that too. I get that mentality. If you want to just learn about yourself and grow as a person, I respect that. I think I desire relationships. I work better with a teammate, and I'm such a motivational person for others around me, but I have a really hard time self-motivating. And I think a lot of people mistake that for like a laziness quality in me, but I actually think it's this really observant waiting for my time to attack. But I also think I have a problem with procrastination, which can come off as laziness. Like, hello, welcome to therapy. Okay, this was about love. Anyway, it's just, I wanted to talk about these relationships for anybody, whether you're in high school, college, 20s, 30s, 40s, just recently divorced, single, your partner died. You know, things happen, life happens, right? You're going through a breakup, or you're falling in love and you're going crazy because you text the person and you think you're coming off nuts because you're texting them too much, because it's that fucking rush in your brain that's like, I need it. I'm addicted to that feeling, that good feeling, because we as humans have created societies where we deprive ourselves of love and we chase it, but then we beat it up. It's like we pick at each other and then we look for reasons to push each other away when we get too close. Or we decide that love shouldn't enter our lives at all because we have to be maybe a neo-masculine alpha dom male in America who grows up thinking that boys can't play with Barbies or like the color pink. Like, we're keeping ourselves in these boxes that aren't allowing us to express who we truly are and fall in love with ourselves. Because honestly, that's the one relationship you need to work on forever. The one with yourself. You need to love who you are. If you're working a job or going to a school or doing something for your parents or a sibling or a relationship that you don't believe in, and you're not you and you're not sticking to your truth and standing in your own convictions, like Wendy Williams would say, then you're not living your life. You're not in love with yourself. You need to fall in love with your life because it's the most important one. Fuck everybody else at times because you have to, like, not literally because that would take you time, but you have to say fuck you sometimes because the world is going to push back always. It always will. And there were so many times I wanted to start a YouTube channel and I didn't because I was like, oh, what if people judge the way I portray myself? And do I have to be a character? And should I put on some act? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this when I'm ready to be real. Because I want to have real conversation and I want to meet people who think like me. And the only way I'm going to do that is to not be fake. And that's what this channel is for. And honestly, if it just inspires a couple people, a handful of people, to just enjoy their lives and be truly who they are and fall in love with themselves, and then that perpetuates outward, you know? You're gonna find love when you create it inside. So I know that sounds super hippie stoner, but it's for real. Like the 60s, like freedom of love and love child movement, it was real and it was there was a reason for it. Like we needed that as humanity like progressed, and we need it again. We really need to feel love again. We've had war and just this decaying society for so long. We're like used to it. We're just drudging along, working our 9 to 5s and just really hating where our lives are going. We should be passionate about what we want to do with our lives and encouraging each other to strive to do our dreams. It's funny to me sometimes. I think about, we work these 9 to 5 jobs for corporate America to be able to buy food and shelter and clothing and portray ourselves in a way. But what if we took the middleman out, corporate America, and we just worked with each other and bartered and traded and went back to what we as humans probably were at our peak, at least, you know, in modern times. I'm just thinking, like, why are we all continually doing these 40-hour work weeks, killing ourselves, not taking vacations, missing our kids growing up, not being families, not connecting to our neighbors? Like, why are we perpetuating it for corporate America? It just, sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. If you want to continue that conversation, keep it going in comments below. I love talking shit like that. So if you are my people, let's do this. Okay, I don't want to, you know, extend this video too much. I really just wanted to create a video about love. And, you know, my boyfriend, I want to shout out to you. We put up with a lot with each other. We're both a fucking headache. I don't know how we do it, but you're truly just my best friend. And I appreciate you so much. And thank you for being here with me now. Like, this is so important, and thank you, and I love you so much. And to the people watching these videos, thank you, and I love you just for sharing thoughts and ideas and your time. So thank you for that, and take care of yourselves for the rest of the day. I am excited to talk to you the rest of the week, and I hope you're enjoying the sun. It is super sunny on the West Coast, and I am loving it. Summer is around the corner. I am so excited. Okay, all right, and before I start spiraling on with conversation, I'm just gonna get out of here. So take care of yourselves for the rest of the day. Peace.